Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum, dear students. This session focuses on code mixing of other languages in Pakistan. I hope and expect by the end of this session you would be able to understand the code mixing practices of various regional and local languages of Pakistan in the Pakistani sociolinguistic context. Well, my dear students, the phenomenon of code mixing is a global phenomenon. Code mixing takes place in almost all the parts of the world, and in fact, the frequency of code mixing has sped up. It has increased in the recent times. This is not a practice that is particular or peculiar to Pakistan. We find its examples in almost every society. People in different countries, people in different nations, people in different regions and in different speech communities mix different languages. They choose words from one language and they embed them in the other language. As far as the case of Pakistan is concerned, here I am not focusing on mixing of English in Urdu, English that is a lingua franca and the official language, and Urdu that has the status of official language as well as of the national language. Here in this particular session, I am focusing on various regional varieties of language, the provincial languages, and their mixing with Urdu, as well as the mixing of English in them. What are the social and cultural factors behind them, and why and how all this happens? Well, my dear students, apart from the mixing of English and Urdu, regional languages are very frequently, using a mix of English. Words and phrases are borrowed from English into the regional languages, and people, for the sake of ease, people in order to show some kind of particular kind of status, they mix words of English in Pashto, in Punjabi, in Sindhi, Balochi, Saraiki, etc. Sometimes any two of these languages, depending upon the addresser and the addressee, the setting of the conversation, the topic of interaction, etc., depending on all these factors, any of these two regional languages or two local varieties are also mixed. However, that kind of mixture is not very frequently found. Now, the question arises, why, English is mixed, or why this mixed code is created. Local and regional identities, when, they interact with this, broader identity of being, educated, of being a member of a global educated community. In that case, this is what happens. Sometimes national language, words from national language are also, that is from Urdu, are also mixed into these regional languages. As far as Punjabi and Urdu are concerned, because the boundaries are very soft and very blurred, so these kind of mixes are, sometimes they even go, what I would say is as unnoticeable. So overall, people create their identities as educated, their identities as being well off, and their identities as being fashionable when they mix the words of English language, particularly into their regional varieties of language. As far as the categories or linguistic types of these insertions are concerned, they again remain the same. Words, that is nouns or verbs, are mixed. Sometimes only adjectives are mixed. Sometimes phrases such as noun phrases or verb phrases are, included. And, hybridized phrases such as hybridized noun phrases and hybridized verb phrases are also included. When I use the term hybridized phrases, actually a hybrid phrase is a phrase which again within itself has some part from one language and some other part, the other part from some other language.